This podcast was edited and uploaded by Uncle Geeb Productions. Hey guys, and welcome everyone to the Drip and Geeb podcast. I am your host, Uncle Geeb, and with me as host, Drip Media Gaming. We record this podcast live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, or anywhere you can find a podcast. You can also watch our video podcast over on youtube.com/DripG. Mr. Murray, I see you in the chat. And Drip, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, dude. I'm still pumped. Still pumped, still excited. Tears of the Kingdom looks amazing. It's not DLC.
Not
we totally
DLC.
didn't do that intro twice. That was perfect the first time. You did it great. It's not DLC, Geeb.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's beautiful, is what it is.
It's not.
We got so much.
We did get a ton.
We got so little. We have so much to talk about, but they still didn't tell us really anything. I mean, they didn't really tell us anything. They gave us a lot of information about certain things, but still absolutely nothing about what this game is about, which I don't know. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that part of it later.
Yeah.
How are you? How was your week?
Week was good, man. We're just working. Mrs. Geeb is off for spring break, so workflow has been a little down just because we're hanging out because she's here. But still on the grind, doing all the stuff we got to do here to make this podcast and stuff. I streamed on YouTube this week, which is great.
I saw that. I was there.
Yeah, you raided me the way you do it on YouTube, which is a redirect, and that was great.
Yeah, okay,
that
was cool. That's the first time I've done it and it actually worked.
Yeah.
It's the first time. It does actually. The way that they have it set up is really stupid. It's really stupid.
I would know because I tried to redirect after you and I could not find it.
The power of the redirect is much more powerful than the raid, though.
Yeah, and let me tell you why. So so when a typical raid on Twitch, right? You get the people come in for the most part, the most dedicated, which is like a tenth of the audience of that streamer, puts in the raid message, says hi to the streamer. It even stays in general, and then after that, maybe 5%, if not like just a couple handful of people stick around, and maybe you get a follower too. That's my experiences on Twitch as far as raids and stuff. I love Twitch.
Yeah, it's always been.
I love the community on Twitch, but Twitch has a ton of issues as a streaming platform, and YouTube does too. There's still plenty of things they need to fix. But as far as the redirect was concerned, like, dude, like everybody who you had just like came over and hung out. It was a party.
I just stopped and you just took the stage. I was like, cool, I can sit down and have a beer.
Yeah,
watch,
they should
just hang out. It was nice.
YouTube,
we were playing the same game.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah. YouTube should rename it to Take the Stage because you're welcome. That's a great name. Pass the stage or whatever.
Yeah, it did work. I don't know. It's cool. I like that.
Ton of fun.
I'm liking streaming on YouTube, man. I'm enjoying it.
And we've been talking about this for like well over a year, because our argument back in the day when we weren't quite streaming on YouTube was, I don't know. It just seems like it's not the right time. We're still doing our thing on Twitch, having a good time.
My analytics, man. It was killing it.
For you in particular, but for me, it just I couldn't get the same kind of audience.
My analytics are in the toilet
on YouTube
anyway right now. It doesn't matter.
But it seems like people are coming around to. It took time for the audience to catch up to YouTube streaming, and that's what's coming. That's what's catching up. People from my Twitch have come over, and now people from YouTube are figuring out and learning about YouTube streaming and coming in like new people. So that's cool. It's been So anyway, enough about that stuff, Drip. I mean, we have a whole episode of things to talk about. That you're going to be driving.
I'm driving, yeah.
You're driving. All I know, I'll just say this before you start driving, before you take the wheel. Yeah. All I know is that we have 10 minutes of gameplay to go over and really kind of dissect. We're not going to go crazy in depth because this is not going to be a 3-hour podcast by any means.
We're going crazy in depth.
Well, we are, but it's not going to be that long. It's going to be pretty long, but this episode's not going to be extended. It's going to be a normal size episode for us.
It'll be normal.
But it's the only topic besides this one thing before we get into the because at the very end of the 10 minutes of gameplay, they did drop a nice little treat for all of us Zelda fans in the way of a Zelda OLED. Guess what? It's real. It's real. We said it.
I was going to say this in the pre-show. In the pre-show, Do you remember what I said? Do you remember what I said like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks ago when I was like, this thing's fucking real. It's real. And it's everybody in my comments who keeps telling me I'm stupid and that it's not real. I was like, I can't wait to come back here and be like, eat shit.
Eat shit.
And I'm
it's real.
Oh, don't you worry. Real. I'm going to do it after this podcast. I'm going to go right into those comments and I'm just going to leave poop emojis.
That's right.
Like this.
Just like that beer of the week.
Yes, beer of the week. Dew Claw. Give a shit.
Yes.
Blueberry, vanilla bean. It's wonderful. We talked about that in the pre-show.
That's right.
It's very good.
Got to join the pre-show to hear the beer of the week now.
Yeah.
So Drip, besides us being right about it, what do you think about it?
It's exactly. I mean, it is. That was the one thing we were like. If it's a leak at wherever it was, I guess now we know it came from the factory is where it was actually leaked from.
Yeah.
So they were obviously making them, but it's the exact same thing as the leaks. It looks identical. The only thing that's added, there is a little green like sticker logo thing on the box. That's the only thing that's different. That wasn't in the leak.
I was more referring to like, what do you think of the console? I mean, we kind of did it already a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, we already knew what it looked like. I like it. I mean, I already said I liked it. I like the gold Joy-Cons. It reminds me of the old the Skyward Sword Wiimote, the special edition gold Wiimote they put out with Skyward Sword. One of the first ones, actually, I think the first one with Wii Motion Plus, actually.
Yes, was the first one.
I like it, man. I hope they match, honestly. They probably won't, but I'm really hoping they match because they're going to be displayed together at some point.
So, I think there's a conception that I don't like it. I do like it. I believe it's as a package, the whole shebang. It's an A tier Switch. Like I dropped that happily in A tier. It's a very, very nice Switch. That dock is S tier. The dock is
nice.
Fantastic. I cannot wait to see that dock in person. That thing is
going right there.
Incredible. But the Joy-Cons, my issues are not that it's gold. My issue is it seems like the finish is just a weird gold, and also it's just on the front, and it doesn't look that good to me. I don't like the design of them as Joy-Cons individually. They're just not for. I have higher expectations for a Zelda Joy-Con.
Let me say this. I want you to remember this. Now, as a Zelda fan, before Breath of the Wild, they changed a lot of stuff with Breath of the Wild. I'm used to seeing certain things when it comes to marketing Zelda, certain designs, certain colors. They changed that a lot with Breath of the Wild, and I'm fine with that now because I've played the game and it makes sense to me now. I think once this game comes out and we start seeing some of this type of artwork, marketing, whatever they're doing with this, and we get used to it more, I bet it will grow on you more. I bet it will.
I felt the same way with the Splatoon one. I was not a big fan of the Splatoon Switch. And I didn't see it in person, but I did see it in like videos and just more in-depth hands-on views and some like Shibby, for example, did a great video on it and really I could see it really well in his video. He's got a really nice setup, and I was like, oh wait a minute, okay, I think I really like that Splatoon Switch.
It's sick. I still think it's the best one.
Yeah,
I love this Zelda one, love it, and I love Zelda. Obviously, it's my thing. But
yeah,
that Splatoon one is the best Switch. It's the best one.
Yeah,
it's still the best one.
I again, not seeing these other ones in person, I still kind of hold true. I know it's not an OLED, but that Animal Crossing one is simple but effective. The dock, I have the dock. The dock is simple but really good. I think that it's still
the best dock.
It's still an S tier Switch as a package. Maybe because the simplicity of the Joy-Cons, it's not better than the Splatoon one, but the Splatoon one's so busy, and the Zelda one is kind of iffy to me. So I really think that it's just a nice, solid, this is a whole podcast on its own, Switch variants.
Yeah.
But I mean, that Animal Crossing one to me is still number one as far as Switch packages.
I think as far as the dock goes, that's the coolest dock they've probably done.
Yeah, it's really
the only
cool
one that has actual.
It's the only one that's unique.
It's got characters on it and stuff. I mean,
it's the only unique. It's the only unique one because it's not a sticker. It's the only one that's just not a sticker. Every OLED dock,
none of the stick. There's not stickers.
I say sticker like it's just it's
painted on. There's
kind
no
of
stickers.
No. So like on this OLED versions of the special editions, there's like a sheath, a clear sheath on top of because this finish is rough. The OLED docks have a shiny clear sheath that's smooth, and then the it's basically a skin. It's a built-in skin, but it's basically a skin on the OLED.
I don't
docks.
have any of the docks. I have the
watch videos. Watch the videos. You'll see.
I have the Splatoon Joy-Cons, which are absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'll have the Zelda one here. I got it. Got it pre-ordered. Definitely. Yeah. Shouldn't have. Should not have. But I mean, what am I going to do? Not get the Zelda Switch? Am I not going to get it? Absolutely not. I'm getting it. Totally getting it.
Yeah, you're the Zelda guy, man.
I mean, I like Zelda. I don't think I'm the Zelda guy, but I'm a Zelda guy.
You're a Zelda guy. That's right.
I am a Zelda guy. Yeah, I like Zelda.
I'm a Zelda guy too, but Drip, you are way more knowledgeable, way more passionate on the franchise than me. I can admit that freely. You, good sir, have done your research. You have a big iPad full of
well, I haven't
notes.
done all the research. I also went and watched a bunch of other people's videos who did a lot of research too. Took a bunch of stuff from their videos as well.
Do you want to give them credit real fast so we don't just say their names?
Zeltic, dude, he put out the best video. I think he put it out yesterday.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
He is a maniac. A maniac with this stuff.
Yeah, he should work for Nintendo. He's crazy.
I watched his stuff, a few other, I can't remember the other videos I watched, and I watched a bunch of shorts with like little pieces of things here and there that I've picked up on, but I mean, he covered it the best. I mean, we should probably link that video.
For sure. It remind me, and we can it's not there right now, but
it will be. If you're watching this back, the link will be down there. If you have not watched that video, I'm going to go over some of the stuff he talked about, but man, it's crazy the amount of stuff that he just saw in the background, this and that, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, that's. But then that's the whole thing. We're gonna get into all this stuff, but the whole thing is that I really want to touch on before we get into it is like him saying all this stuff and pointing out all these things just really shows you like they still haven't told us anything.
Yes, they have not.
They told us about basically what's taking place of the Sheikah slate. That's all they told us about in this gameplay, which did introduce an entire crafting system. Which, I mean, I don't know. We've been talking about that for a while, like the cooking and the broken weapons. Like it just seemed like part of a crafting system that was unfinished. You know what I mean? And this is it.
I wouldn't say it was like blatantly obvious from the start that this was.
But you could see where
there was potential
built on. Yeah, like
exactly.
You could do so much more with that little bit.
Yeah,
and man, did they take that? They took that completely to the next level. Are you going to pull the video up? Are we doing that?
Yeah, I got it, dude.
All right, man, we can start it. We might as well just start the video.
Sure, just go ahead and keep talking here.
Well. Oh, I like this scene. This is nice.
Thank you. It's very basic.
Hang on. Let me check my notes. Okay, first thing. The mini map.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and pause it here.
The mini map. We can get into that. I don't know why Zeltic mentioned this in his video, and again, just more questions. It has like longitude and latitude.
Yep.
On it,
sure.
But it's also up and down.
Yeah, it's got a vertical
right.
It's basically GPS coordinates. Why?
But why? Yeah.
Why? I'll throw my opinion out there real fast. I mean, first off, it makes a lot of sense. I think it's really nice to have the longitude. I'm not gonna say what it's called. I'm gonna sound dumb, but it's gonna be really nice to know GPS locations of where you are in the map. Just for lots of different reasons, especially for like YouTube tips and help when you're lost. Like, hey, go to these coordinates.
I didn't think about that. Oh man,
yeah,
that's gonna be huge. Like, you're looking for this? It's at whatever, negative 2400, blah blah blah. Yeah,
right.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
I didn't even think about
Minecraft.
that. That's great. That's fantastic.
Minecraft is a game that's had that since like the late 20 or early 2010s.
I don't play Minecraft,
but it's a very useful thing. Not that this game is anything like Minecraft, but I'm just saying that it's a very useful thing to have in games. In Minecraft, you can actually toggle it, but because it's kind of obtrusive, they did this really nice and just added it. It just looks just like the Breath of the Wild mini map. That circle, but at the bottom of the circle, just very curvy little numbers right at the bottom, just so you know where you're at in the world, and up and down as well as like in the sky as well as on the ground. So it's really useful.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's going to be useful. Okay, but another thing about the mini map, not here, but as you move around to certain areas, it looks like the map is not unlocked. So I'm guessing we're going to have to re-unlock the map at some point. Right there. Pause it. I'm wondering if that's how we're going to do it again. New towers. They're completely different. We've seen them in other trailers, but you get a good look at a few of them in this game. But they're not the same at all. They're completely different.
Yeah.
So
listen. I believe that shrines and towers will live on in this game, just not in their same form. So we can talk about it for hours of how they're going to do it, and like what in this screenshot might be a tower of what it's going to be. I'm not personally. I don't care too much about because all I know is that there will be towers, there will be shrines. In terms of fast travel and map unlockings, that's going to be a thing in this one too. So however they implement that,
honestly, that's just getting back to like what I was saying before. It's like, yeah, we got some information, but my God, there's just so many more questions. Why are there new that old towers are gone? There's a completely different style of tower.
Yeah.
He said something about Zeltic was talking about those smoke signals coming from the stable there, which is interesting. But
yeah, I believe that is different. I don't think there were smoke signals in the original.
No, there weren't. There definitely weren't.
It was a good shot right there. So who knows what that is? Again, I mean, we don't know.
You can see them from two different places. Again, there's the questions that this has. That's what drives me nuts. The music, I don't know if you noticed that.
Yes.
Especially, I think right here, it's the same.
I'm not playing. There's no audio. No audio. I'm not going to risk it.
Yeah. You don't have to turn it on now. But I'm saying the music from Breath of the Wild is back.
Yes. The stable music's the same. The overworld music was identical, I think.
Yeah. Well, and there's other music when you fight the constructs.
We'll
I don't
get
know
to the
if you
constructs.
noticed this either, but they're down here too. They're not just up in the sky.
Yeah, so actually, I'll bring this up now from the start. Let's go back to this main screen. We'll just chat a little bit about what we've seen so far in this trailer. So the constructs. Let's start there. I believe, and Mrs. G pointed this out to me. She pointed out a lot of stuff. She was very good at watching this trailer, better than me. She pointed out that there are friendly constructs as well as
they were called the Ranger construct. It popped up over their head for like a second. You're talking about the ones that look like they're like gardening or something. They're like hanging out.
Either gardening or they're at the entrance of what looks to be a dungeon maybe, or they're just kind of there in the world. Probably in the world just to kind of as NPCs of sorts. Who knows how they fit in the story of the game.
I'm sure they do something.
They're purposeful. We just don't know their purpose yet.
Yeah.
But it's just because there's the enemy ones, but then there's the friendly ones. Like, what makes the difference? I'm curious of what.
Yeah, why does one attack you and one doesn't? Again, questions. It's all questions.
And so more on the constructs coming up soon. I got some other things to say, but I'm sure if you guys are searching YouTube videos, you probably know this already. But let's go ahead and keep watching. Drip, what's your next kind of note? What's your next note over there on your iPad?
The new towers I thought was weird. Go back to that other screen. I think this is something we see later on. Yeah. But it's worth bringing up now because you can see it. Oh, I'm in the way. You need to move me. Well, you can't see it right now, but there's a menu up there. I believe, it shows the sword and the shield.
Yes.
But instead of, what was the top one on Breath of the Wild? Yeah, you hit up and it changed your rune that you were using with the Sheikah Slate.
Yes.
This, I do believe they show what this does later. I think this is a way to get, it's like a fast access to the menu. like of all your stuff. They show it later whenever he was putting stuff on his arrows. But I think if you hit that up button, it's bringing up one line instead of your entire inventory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like quick access, which we didn't have. That does suck. Every time you need to eat an apple, you got to pause it, go into the menu. I mean, that is something that's quality of life. Oh, and that dragon's new. That's not the same dragon as flying around. That's different. It's different colors.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got a bunch of stuff, man. I do find it interesting that the constructs are on the ground as well, because I thought that was going to be a sky thing only. I don't know why I thought that, but they're clearly on the ground as well.
For sure.
Cooking is going to be the same, I imagine. There's
well,
pots.
we didn't see anything. We
saw pots everywhere. There's cooking pots everywhere.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that things haven't changed. How you cook will be at the same station, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be the same.
Well,
process.
there's new stuff too.
And let's be and Drip. And let me just say this, because you were getting a little ahead of yourself. If the cooking stays the same, is that an issue? I think the cooking is a nice. No, it's fine. Was great. I thought that was a really nice addition to the game.
Yeah, you see in the menu later. We'll look at that, but they've added. So there's going to be new stuff. There's that mushroom thing that he puts on his shield that blows up. That's a new mushroom that wasn't in the game before. So. I mean, and you can see there's all kinds of new stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be new dishes, I'm sure.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Old dishes will be the same, though. You just cook
who knows? Who knows? I don't wonder these things because I'll just find out.
Yeah, another thing we missed, which I'm happy about, it's a little bit further back in the trailer. There's a Korok with a backpack, and he's...
Yeah. So it's funny because I thought that was Beetle when I saw...
It's a Korok, and he's, like, stuck.
Yeah, I thought it was Beetle, but it turns out that's a Korok because I watched it again, and Mrs. Geeb once again was
right there. That's him right there. Yeah,
Miss Geeb was like, "Hey, that's a Korok." I'm like,
yeah, he's got a
would you look at that? It is a Korok with a backpack. So here's a funny theory. I'm gonna throw out this theory right now. I bet that is Beetle who got. I don't know. Beetle, for some reason, Beetle.
Oh my God!
Beetle got like in trouble because Beetle is always really silly in these games, and I bet you Beetle got into some trouble and got turned into a Korok. That'd be really. At least I want that. That's what I want. Ooh, Tingle.
It's Tingle.
It's Tingle. Yeah.
Oh man. So okay, that's good for me. I'm happy to see a Korok out just hanging out. Yeah. That means we don't have to go find them anymore.
Right.
That's fantastic. It seems like they're going to be doing something else.
Oh, no. I don't. That is not a guarantee, dude. Not a guarantee.
We're going to have to find. I'm sure there's going to be, 100 or however many. How many Korok seeds were there?
900.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure there'll be something else to take its place that I won't do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, we got to that. The cooking pots we saw. Okay, this is interesting. I want to talk about this now because this is interesting. If you go, you see it twice.
Just start talking about
it. You see it twice. It's right before he goes up into the sky, and it's when he comes back down. But there's like foundations of houses everywhere, and they've just got parts, like big walls of wood, and one of them, I think there was like a sail or something sitting there. Obviously, this is stuff you can build, but like, are you building houses? Is this like rebuilding Hyrule? Is this?
I do not. I think you're. No, I don't think this.
You don't.
I do. I don't.
That is something that I thought about a lot. Like, way back when they first announced this game. Like, oh, are they gonna like rebuild Hyrule? Like,
no.
We're gonna get new places to go. I don't know.
No. No. There's
Why
no
are they
way
sitting on house foundations then?
It's building material, man.
Rebuilding is going to be a major side quest. Could be a side quest.
Yeah, I think what you're probably seeing foundations, but you're also just seeing things that you can make things with. This game, excuse me, is going to feature lots of materials all over the place.
Oh yeah,
that you're going to be able to build your flying flying crafts, ground crafts and ground cars and what have you. Like that. That's why there's just stuff laying around.
All right, well, go ahead and pause it here. We just saw the first ability, Recall. How you feeling about Recall?
Recall is it's fine. It's a thing that you do to go up in the sky. That's
okay, but there's more to it.
Yeah, I mean, you can use it to. We saw
it in the one of the old trailers. that he stops that giant ball with the spikes on it and sends it back up the hill.
Yes,
that's the same thing, right?
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's an ability. I really like the original runes. Not that I wanted the same exact runes again, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not a big fan of this one. Maybe I will, but then again, I say that without ever playing this game.
Yeah.
So this is something I can't really give you of how I feel about it yet until I play with it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these things. That's I don't know. I think it's this one I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Okay, it's like a rewind feature for certain things, but yeah, I just wonder what all it works on. Clearly, it works on enemies. You know, if they throw something at you, you can stop it and throw it back at them.
Right.
I mean, that could be fun for a boss fight. That would be cool. I don't know. There's lots of ways they can use. That's the thing. Like, I saw people saying like, "Oh, it's DLC. It's DLC." Like, this is the bare minimum basics they are showing us of this stuff. Just like, here's how it works. Go crazy.
I think when I want to talk about this for a second because we've been talking about it for since we've heard those statements since we've seen the gameplay trailers.
Yeah.
Listen. This game is Breath of the Wild 2. It has a different name. It is called Tears of the Kingdom. But make no mistakes. This game is Breath of the Wild 2. Now, are you against Breath of the Wild 2? Did you want a completely different Zelda game? That's a different argument. It's not that it's DLC. That's just a different argument. This is Breath of the Wild 2. If you have an issue with that, then don't play it. So, like, I am not surprised. They called this game the sequel to Breath of the Wild for years until they finally gave us the name.
Yeah.
Like, make no mistake that it's not DLC. It's just it's the same game built in the same engine with completely new things in it. That's what it is. Is Majora's Mask DLC for Ocarina? Not really. It's the same base game, but it's the same base game, yes. And it looks virtually the same. Slight upgrades in the way it looks for sure, but that's because that was a different time you could do that because the graphics there was not a steady base to begin with. This game looks great from the start. Tears of the Kingdom Breath of the Wild being so Tears of the Kingdom's gonna look very similar because it's a good looking game. But with all that being said, it's not DLC. It's just Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I think what we saw here, it just showed, and like I said, we're just getting a piece. This is just a piece.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
We're going to talk about that, too. I think this is just a piece. Okay, so Recall's okay. We didn't get a whole lot with that, but I think we're going to be able to see a lot more of that once we know what it actually works on. Okay, so we get up to the top, and then he fights the Zonai construct. Also, Zonai confirmed.
Zonai confirmed. I saw that right away, and I was like screaming at the computer, Zonai! Zonai! I was very excited.
So I don't know what that. Yeah, that's been like a huge that's been a huge theory the entire time. Which clearly, yes, all this is going to be Zonai stuff. So that's what I'm saying. This story is going to be nuts, man. This is going to be crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh.
This is going to be nuts. But you see here as he's fighting. Once he beats it, it falls and it gives you the horn.
Yep.
And the charge. Now the horn is going to be used in what we're talking about next. Obviously, it's going to be able to be fused with stuff and made into a weapon. Clearly,
right.
And I think that's why all the bokoblins and everything else has a freaking horn on it now, because you can just get those and use them as weapons and fuse them on things. That's
interesting. Now, I bet you there's a story reason why they all have horns, but as far as like why that's just that was just like an explanation of why they put the horns in the game is so you could fuse them as your weapons.
Yes, because so that's what I'm wondering. Like, we have all these other things that you're going to be able to make weapons out of. Like, how many actual weapons are going to be in the game? And what can you do with what can you fuse with an actual sword?
What we didn't see is like a ton of weapons. We saw
we saw sticks and rocks and logs, and that's it.
No, we saw like a pitchfork, whatever that thing was, to make that long
the pitchfork
stick,
and then the stick. Yeah. I thought that was just kind of
ridiculous. So that makes me think that there will be items like there was in Breath of the Wild, pitchforks.
Because the pitchfork was
But we didn't see any of that. We just saw like the building blocks for weapons, not necessarily different weapons.
Yeah. What is a Zonai charge?
I don't No, man. I have it paused here on the screen.
Is that what gives it its life? Is that what's giving it that little glow on the inside?
Yeah, my guess is it's also probably the same thing that's on his I'll just call them batteries for lack of a better term. The things on his belt loop that we've seen in other trailers and in this gameplay footage. I believe that green glowingness is Zonai.
Yeah, but there's
Zonai
a different
something.
Shape. It looks like
it's a capsule. It's a capsule. I know. It's a capsule.
What are the things from the Guardian parts? I mean, I feel like these Zonai pieces are kind of taking the place of the Guardian parts. You know what I mean?
I think that's exactly what they're doing.
What is it? The core, like the cores.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
I mean, maybe it's used for different stuff, but
there's no way to know what this is. That we can sit here for hours. The basic idea, though, is that this is some sort of energy source material for the Zonai creatures and for Link's arm, which kind of might be powered by Zonai tech, which seems to be the case.
Clearly.
That we can confirm right now is that Link's arm is powered by Zonai tech.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how this story all plays into all this stuff. But I mean, okay, but we're getting into Fuse. Fuse, by far the best thing. By far.
Yes.
That's crazy. Yes. Just the amount that you can do with this, the crafting system, the way this opens up so much. It opens up so much. And it's not only just, weapons, it's shields too. We see that in a little bit. But do you remember in one of the early trailers when Link had the dragon head on his shield and it's like blowing fire?
Yes.
Like, just imagine how deep this is going to get, dude. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy.
If there are things I wonder if there's Guardians and Sheikah tech still in the game, because that'd be fun. Could you combine
I was wondering about
Guardian
that too.
pieces?
Like, where did the Guardians go? Are we going to see them? Because they didn't just disappear, but I guess they wouldn't be bad anymore. Technically?
Yeah. I wonder. Maybe? So here's a slight theory of mine. Maybe these Guardians, at least the ones that are on the ground, are not there anymore. The ones that are dead on the ground, because in Breath of the Wild, Link beats them all. Link defeats them in his quest to find his memories and stuff.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
Maybe they're kind of removed, and that's how they kind of explain that. Like, they're not here anymore because in the last game, Link defeated them.
Yeah, well, that's possible. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I may be wrong, but did I see at some point he fused not only a stick and a log, but also a rock all at the same time? Three things? I
did not see that. Do you have a timestamp? Because I don't have that.
I think it was later at the end of when they were talking about it, but I'm not sure. I want to go. I want to go to when they're showing that menu, that new style of the menu, because I think that's really cool.
Go ahead. Start talking.
So, like I said, they have the Apple thing. I'm pretty sure that the Apple is going to pull this menu up right here. Pause it right there. That's nice right there. That's huge. This
menu looks like, if you guys remember from Breath of the Wild, the menu was for your weapons and your bows, and picking your arrows. That little menu that you could pop up. Not the main pause menu where you did that. Like that little extra menu overlay on top of your screen where Link kind of is in a pause state or whatever. And that side scrolling menu. That's the same menu we got here in Tears of the Kingdom, but they're including all of the items you could pick up in the world, like Keith's eyeballs.
It's like a quick access menu. You don't have to go to the pause menu.
Exactly, it's the same menu that was in Breath of the Wild, but it's added functionality.
I wonder if you can make it I want this stuff in there, and I want that in there. I want this in there. Like the stuff you don't use that often, it doesn't even go into that. Or is it everything? I mean, I'm sure we'll find out soon. But you can see here too. This is a good place to stop. There's lots of new stuff. I don't know what that little egg thing is, but that's new.
That looks to me that's the Zonai charge.
No, the charge looked like it looked different than that. It's something different. But then you can see right there beside there's two horns, two different Zonai horns. This is awesome. You just put an eyeball on an arrow. It's fine. Just a homing arrow. No big deal.
Homing arrows. Yep.
That is very cool.
We saw that in the trailer.
We saw that in the trailer, but at the time, we didn't know what it was. You could see it had something on the end of it, but you couldn't really tell what it was, and I don't think anybody saw that coming. Like this whole system is amazing. I really do love this system.
Yeah, it's a good system. It's crafting, but not in the way that's like been there, done that.
Just like I told you when we talked after this, it's the perfect crafting system for this game. It goes right along with everything else in the game. It just fits like it's always been there. It's wonderful. I love the way they did this.
I'm sure that there's a ton of people out there who are just being, grumpy goobers who are just like, oh, you mean the open world game, the trendy open world games, not getting trendy crafting? Oh, you Zelda fans are so dumb. You're just this is open world and crafting. This is a Gen Z game. You hooligans. Like, I'm sure those people exist who are just don't want to see these, like, because it's not. Let's admit it's not original. I mean, there's plenty of open world games that have crafting, but it's the way that it's done, and it's a very Breath of the Wild way. It's like when Apple takes all the features from Android, does them slightly better and says, look at these new features. Like
they do them better. It takes them longer because they integrate it into all their things, and it's done better. It's okay. When you're in a game, like Minecraft has a pass because that game kind of like, I don't know if it birthed the idea, but it definitely made it mainstream. Like when you have to walk up to like a box and you just craft with like a 3x3 window or whatever, just like lots of games do that. That is boring and lazy. That's a very lazy way of doing it. Yeah, Nintendo was like, we're going to do this in the most unique way we can with our game. And it's crafting, but disguised as like this really cool way to just interact with your items in your inventory. It's awesome. And I want to read this from the chat. Jason Kendra said, 127 weapons times 149 materials equals 18,923 combinations.
Yeah, and it seems like if we go back to that one still where there's like you're showing the menu, this has been a big meme on the internet as of late. Steak arrows. Everyone wanted to make steak arrows.
Shoot me with a steak arrow, please.
And to my eye, unless if you go hover over steak and we're going to find out until we play the game, but unless you go to try to make a steak arrow and it says that little sound and goes unable to make or whatever.
I think it'll make it.
I think it will.
It wouldn't.
I think it will. It's
going to be like if you make a shitty dish, it's just not going to do that much for you.
Well, here's my theory. With like a steak arrow, and this is where like the endless possibilities come in with this. I bet you a steak arrow is a way to distract like a group of bokoblins.
Oh yeah, they'll go try to like eat it.
Yeah, like you're gonna go just instead of like it's like the bananas in the Ziggy Clan thing where you drop bananas, they go run toward it. And like in the open world, if you're like trapped and you're like, oh, bokoblins, shoot your little arrow steak on it, and they're gonna be like, oh, steak.
Like, oh yeah, cool. I didn't know that.
If they didn't do it, Nintendo, if you didn't do that, Nintendo, you weren't thinking all the way through with this game. Like that is clearly what needs to be done with that.
Honestly, you saying that, I would almost guarantee that there's some situation where it probably works something like that.
Every item must have a purpose with the crafting system.
I do have a question. So we saw him get the what was it called? The Korok frond. He was about to put that on an arrow, but didn't shoot it. He did go with the little jelly, but the ice one, and it made an ice arrow, right?
Right. Yep.
Shot that, worked like an ice arrow. My question is, are there still ice arrows in the game, or is this the new standard of making your arrows?
I'm sure there's going to be chests with arrows, or you're going to open, just like Breath of the Wild, where you break boxes and there'll be arrows and other items.
But what if there's not? What if it's just arrows and you have to, like, if you want an ice arrow, that's how you get it?
I would like that. I mean, I
don't have a problem. I'm wanting your opinion. Do you think that like regular bomb arrows or ice arrows or like the normal stuff is gone? Or do you think it's still available?
If I were to make a bet, I would say they're not gone. I would say I would say they're not gone. You can make them in addition to them being in the world, purchasing and whatnot. That's what I would. If I had to make a bet, that's what I would bet.
I think they're gone. I think this takes over.
What we got to bet here?
So much.
Are we the beards this time?
No, we're not doing that. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff I have here. The ice arrow thing. I'm curious about. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that. But this is that thing I wanted to tell you about. So the next ability we got was Ultra Hand. I said in my video, not crazy about the name, But good old Zeltic taught me last night and today again that Nintendo back in the 60s had a toy, okay?
No way.
It was an extendable arm that would grab things, and it was called the Ultra Hand.
No way.
It's a real thing.
That's an Easter egg, dude. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That's an awesome Easter egg.
That's clearly why they named it that, which at first I was like, that's a stupid name, but now I'm like, oh, I'm kind of like it.
If you guys didn't know, there's probably a lot of people who don't know this. Nintendo, did they start as toys or like there was something before toys? But
they made like playing cards.
Yeah, playing cards. Yeah. So they started off as a playing card company, then went to toys. And they were not initially. They're a very, very old company. Nintendo is very old. The playing cards were like in the 1800s, I think.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Like late 18, like early 1900, like that early of, I believe.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. They've been around for a while. But I thought that was cool. This is awesome. This is basically it's another layer, and I kind of want you to go back because I want you to see something. I want you to go back to where he first grabs like maybe one of the first logs.
Sure.
Okay.
What do you want to see?
I want you to pause it whenever when he turns his ability. Now pause. Look at all that stuff back there. Look at all that stuff that's lit up that you can do this with. There's blocks. There's so many different things. You're going to literally be able to build anything. You're going to be able to build whatever you want. You're going to be able to move things. The possibilities of what you can build are almost endless.
Yeah, I would. I'm not trying to deny that. I'm not, because I think you can build lots of stuff. But I think you're getting ahead of yourself. I think that maybe it's more for traversal, not like building. What do you build? What do we need to build anything besides?
Okay, no. You're.
We're not. You're making the game. You're making it. You're making it sound like Fortnite. This is not Fortnite.
I'm not talking about building a hotel. I'm just saying you can build whatever you want. If you want to build something, you can build it. You can move those things around. You see, it's got its own little menu where you can turn it this way, turn it that way, which we didn't have in Breath of the Wild. And that was annoying. Trying to, what was it, the magnesis? When you pick something up and try to get it to go into a certain area.
Yes,
that was annoying. That's a huge fix. This works kind of like that, but just the amount of stuff. That's what I was talking about earlier with Recall. Like, what does it work on? That's what we don't know. And this. I mean, you can see there's a lot of stuff this is going to work on. So I'm wondering how far that goes too. I mean, the boat's cool. The flying machines are cool. They're really cool. But I want to see people just build stupid shit, to be honest.
you will. I just
want to see.
You will.
Oh,
I can't wait. I can't wait until the modders get a hold of this game and what they're going to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot.
400 logs. And then they just build a log cabin right there.
They're gonna build an entire like stadium.
I mean, that's what I'm. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be cool. I mean, even just the regular game, even without mods. I mean, the possibilities are.
Yes.
There's a lot of possibilities with this, but the big thing about this, my big questions here. What it sticks stuff together. We got it. This is how you build stuff. It has the glue, whatever. That explains a lot.
Zonai glue.
Zonai glue. Gotta love that Zonai glue. It's that's like super glue, but better.
Oh, wait.
The batteries. How all this stuff runs. I'm still not 100% sure. Now you see here, as he's going, the battery depletes. But if you go back, I think. Yeah, if you go back to whenever he hits it when it's on the ground, and then he turns it back off, and you can see right there too, the batteries recharge themselves when you stop using them.
Yeah, it's like a cooldown. Like once you reach that end of that battery signal, it seems like there is a cooldown. Yeah, where you need to stop using the batteries. It'll recharge itself and come up.
Right. Let that go. Now stop this right here. Look in the back. Of that car there.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a bigger battery right there.
Yes, for sure.
So I'm guessing these extend the there's batteries on the mini map too. I don't know if you caught that, and I don't know where it was at, but that was in his video too. I thought it was very interesting. There's just batteries. It's just the symbol of a battery on the mini map. So I don't know if you like go there to buy them or if that's just like a
I think it's a
charge them.
I think it's a refilling. My theory is that the things on the map are a recharging station, refilling station, if you will. And you recharge. My guess is that they don't recharge on their own. You do need to you do need to have your cells
maybe that
full
thing
of
that's
charge.
sitting back there is like something you carry with you.
That
and
too.
You can take it there and fill that thing up.
Yeah, my point is that I don't believe that they recharge themselves. I think you do need to have some of the power, the Zonai battery power on you, and it could be like a wireless.
I don't know. They
transfer.
Do recharge themselves though. You can see it.
Maybe it comes from your belt loop though, like your belt. That the belt loop's charged. I don't know. And these are who knows.
Well, I mean, if you go back whenever he hits it, if you go back and look when it's still on the ground, he hits it and then he uses it to like propel himself in the air with the glider. And then he turns it off, and you can see the battery just starts going right back up.
The answer is they're solar powered. Next.
Solar powered. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Well, I mean, I'm thinking that the big tanks are just so you can go longer. You can go further.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. You get those big tanks, you can go further. What do you got next, Dripper?
That one is cool. I really like that one. Not as cool as Fuse, but Ultra Hand's all right. Still not.
I think Ultra Hand's the coolest. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Fuse is really cool. Ultra Hand's even cooler.
I was pissed at first because I was like, "Damn, weapons still break." Damn it. But then I saw this and I'm like, "Okay, that's."
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. Because it just makes it like, when you get a stick, you're like, I got a stick. Like, you can actually go fight a Lionel with a stick now.
I can. You're right.
Yeah, you can totally do that now.
I will do that in Breath of the Wild on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Uncle Geeb Productions.
Are we going to see Lionels in this game? That's the thing, too. We haven't seen any of the enemies. Can't wait.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
So, what else do we have? Ascend. Ascend is the last one we saw. And we saw this was the big thing at that E3 trailer when he went through the floor and up onto the ceiling of whatever it was. This is good for some things. I'm interested to see how they implement it in the game. Like, that's cool. That's handy. And it's going to be really awesome when it's raining and you want to get up the side of a mountain. All you got to do is just go inside and go through it. You don't have to worry about climbing in the rain anymore.
You're also assuming that there's going to be, like in Breath of the Wild, as far as I know, every like surface you wanted to climb, every mountain you wanted to climb, didn't necessarily have a cave inside where you could go inside.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's another thing too. It's a cave there.
This ability is going to be a bit more niche than you make it sound. At least the way that some people are making it sound.
Maybe. It really depends on how they again, we only know the basics of it. They did say something about, what was it? About getting out of like cages.
Yeah, like when you're in a dungeon, which is all but confirmed at this point. There's dungeons. Then if you're trapped in a puzzle where there's like you can get yourself out with Ascend.
I mean, stuff like that'll be cool. I don't know.
Also, don't forget that it could have been just a Japanese translation weird thing. That's also very possible that cages could mean kind of something else in their language.
Yeah, well, so there's not a whole lot to talk about this one. He falls. I mean, we don't need to see this. This guy has a little wind. We do need. If you guys are watching this podcast, you do need to see this because the falling mechanic. I want to get to the falling.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Because I still don't understand how this is running on a Switch. I don't understand how this giant open world with no loading screens.
Don't get me started on this.
Okay, whatever. We won't go there. But no loading screens. Look at that. Look at that.
So the way, for audio listeners, the way you get back to the ground, it's not, you have to use your ability. You don't have to. You can just jump off and then you glide in the air, just like belly flop, skydive, very Fortnite like you said in your video.
Yeah.
But like you could just land in water and then you're fine. Or you can just use your paraglider, like the sail in Skyward Sword. You just use a paraglider just to catch your drift. It's amazing. No loading screens. Everything renders in real time.
It's
seamless rendering.
If you go back a little bit though, You can see a few spots. There are holes in the ground, big holes with malice around the holes.
Let's see. But talk about them.
I don't have a lot to say except that. Hang on. You can see
malice.
It right here.
Is it malice or Zonai goop?
No, it's red. It's nasty red.
Interesting. So like in the original trailer, I'm gonna go back to our faces. Well, in the original trailer, when we saw like the red malice stuff, I kind of thought that they changed designs later on.
No. But that's the stuff. That's
no. I don't believe that. I don't believe that now.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm like, oh, like they're you know, when I saw they go from red to green and like the second trial, I'm like, oh, like they're just like it's development. They're changing it a little bit. No, like this seems like the like red malice type stuff is still there with this green stuff because
the green stuff.
It's not. You said bad guy stuff, and I don't think that's entirely true because like there are these Zonai green. What are they called? The Zonai enemies.
Malice is bad.
No.
Ganon Malice.
Answer my question is
bad stuff.
What are those enemies called? The
constructs.
Constructs. Those are bad guys. They want to kill you, but they're green.
Yeah.
So it's not like the green is good and bad. It seems.
Okay, maybe. Yeah. Well, there's some story element there we're missing clearly, but I can tell you this right now: Malice, definitely bad, 100%. But
yeah, for sure.
You see the holes. The big holes with the malice round, that's clearly going down underground where we saw that first initial trailer.
Dude, they showed us nothing about underground. We don't know anything about the underground.
I know. We still haven't even seen that. Which brings me to my final question, Geeb.
Yeah, what do we got?
April 12th. Are we getting that direct?
Absolutely
Are they going to show us the story? You know, parts of it to get us teased ready for the game to come out. Give us a little bit of underground, maybe.
Absolutely
maybe the part
not.
we haven't seen yet. We know it's there.
Let me be clear. I don't think we're not going to see anything else about the game before its release. I think we're going to see something new before the game comes out. But to say that there's still a Zelda Direct in the wing,
I think there is.
Is preposterous to me. Preposterous.
Well, I can tell you right now. I guarantee it.
You guarantee. Are you the suit guy from the suit? Are you the guy from the suit commercials? You're gonna love it. I guarantee it.
I guarantee it. Yeah.
There's no way, dude. No, we're getting a trailer. We're gonna get the official final trailer for Tears of the Kingdom sometime in the month of April. I don't know when. And it's gonna have to show us everything the game has to offer in a 3-minute trailer form. That's what we're gonna get. To say that we're gonna get a 45-minute direct after a 10-minute
I don't think we're gonna get 45-minute direct.
This is not Pikmin. Minutes. This is not Splatoon 3 where they need to sell this game. They do not need to sell this game.
They don't need to sell Splatoon 3.
Splatoon
1 and 2 sold like crazy.
It will sell itself. This game.
They have whole leagues dedicated to Splatoon.
Anything
they still did it.
Anything. It's a silly game. This is like a real game. I love Splatoon, but
okay.
it's a multiplayer game is what I mean. Like multiplayer games sell themselves in a different way. Like they just
Xenoblade 2 and 3 both got directs.
Yeah, because like who buys Xenoblade, dude?
Lots of people.
Yeah, but like the Xenoblade fans do is the answer. There's not too many Xenoblade fans out there in the grand scheme of video games. Like don't forget Nintendo is not bigger than Sony or Microsoft. Like they are with their fandom, but Sony and Microsoft are the majority of the gaming world, and like Xenoblade is not even the majority of Nintendo fans. So like it is such a blimp. I'm not. This is not disrespectful to Xenoblade fans. Please do not take it as like shade. It's just
coming after you.
They will because everyone gets upset about anything when you have an opinion. But it's just a fact that it's just not even the majority of Nintendo fans like the majority of Nintendo fans like games like Mario Kart, Mario Party. Though that is true. Majority of Nintendo fans do not go out and say you have to buy Xenoblade. Whoa, you gotta buy Kirby's Dream Land. Whoa, like the kids will get that one, sure, but like Xenoblade is just like they wish they were Zelda. Is really what Xenoblade. That's shade. That was intentional.
That was. Yeah, now, yeah, you're definitely gonna get it now. I disagree, man. I disagree. Yeah. I feel like they're really gonna push it. And I told you, I know you and I have talked about this. I said this is gonna start the marketing. this is going to start the marketing, and damn, like
for sure.
Day of
Yeah,
everything I saw
we'll
was
get
Tears
like
of the Kingdom.
We'll get
everywhere.
Yeah, we'll get like 3 Twitter posts a day for like the next 14 years. But listen, we're not getting a 45-minute direct. It's just not happening.
It won't be 45 minutes, but
it won't be 30. It won't be 30. It won't be 10. It won't be 20. It won't be 0. It won't happen.
What's the bet? We've been talking about this bet for weeks. I still say there's going to be one. You say no. What's the bet?
The bet is I do one free video for you. If I lose, you get a free video.
And if I lose,
and if you lose, I don't know. What do you offers me something? What do you give me? I offer you a free video to edit.
Okay, that helps me. That helps me.
Yeah.
Okay. I will shoot B-roll for your next video on whatever controller or whatever it is. I'll shoot all the B-roll for it and edit it, and then send it to you, and you can use it. It'll look sick.
The only thing is I don't. That involves me having the controller, you having the controller, and me getting the controller. Like I don't know. I don't know if that's a good one. We'll work on my side. There's something we can work on. Sure,
that's fine. Okay, this is better than shaving the beards. But I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that ever again.
How about this? You have to appear in one of my videos, and you have to promote it like crazy. There we go. Done.
I like it.
Perfect. That's the bet, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give him a free video to edit for him, and if I win, he's got to appear in one of my videos and promote it all over his channel.
Shave the head. Absolutely not. I'm going to turn chat off. I'm just going to turn the whole thing off. All right, that's all I got, man. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
We went through the whole list.
Really? Is that's all we got? I guess so.
I got other things here and there, but I mean, all of these are,
Yeah.
We got it all. I mean,
we did.
New stuff. We got some leaks, not leaks like information, but there are actual like food leaks.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this real fast, because I'm sure this is going to be a hot button subject in terms of like people who aren't like crazy fans like us of the series and aren't sold on it immediately. Performance, visuals. It is hard to tell from a YouTube compressed video, and there are some comparison videos on the internet. You can go look them up.
It does look a little better.
I have seen almost no difference. I've seen polish-ish.
Yeah, the grass looks better.
Polish-ish, but to me, there is almost no difference, and we can't compare frame rates yet because we have not seen enough gameplay to make comparisons of frame rates.
You can't do that.
Let's just say the frame rates are identical to Breath of the Wild. There's the same issues and same good benefits. This game runs way better, and I'll tell you why. Because the Sky World and the Underworld is all new. That is all additional to this game. And the fact that there's no loading screen, at least we know for a fact from the sky zone down to the bottom and vice versa. So it's all the sky and the ground are loaded in all at once. And the fact that there's no like hiccups that we know of transitioning from the two, it's an improvement. It's an improvement over the Switch version and miles better than the Wii U version of.
Well, that's the thing too. They didn't have to worry about the Wii U this time,
right?
So I mean, I'm sure that helped. I don't know. I was pumped, but this got like, man, that 10 minutes of gameplay really just I am just over the moon. I can't wait.
It's funny
care if they don't tell me anything else. I think they're going to tell me more stuff. I think they're going to give me a lot more stuff, but I'm ready. Take my $70.
Actually, Nintendo's going to mail you the game free of charge and like give you like 14 copies to give away on stream. Like that, that's what they're going to do for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And a personal, it won't be public. It'll just be a Drip Media production.
Okay, well, I'll tell you guys this. If it does happen like that, don't worry. I'll live stream it. I will live stream it. It's fine.
Pigs are flying now, too, as well. We're also going to get flying pigs as well as a Zelda Direct.
I'm done.
Also,
great show, G.
Also,
great
this was a direct, not just a presentation. Drip, this was a great podcast for you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can listen to us on all the audio platforms. You can watch us on Spotify or YouTube. But make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on all of the audio platforms. Hang out with us in the streams. We're doing this live. We always do it live. It's a thing we do. It's fun. We did this before the Nintendo podcast. I just want to say that they took our idea. They stole it. better duo, Drip and
That's right,
Geeb.
man. We're just a couple of Nintendo dudes, right?
A couple of Nintendo dudes. Just a couple of Nintendo dudes. And with that, everybody, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Later.